Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the February 23rd Lebanon City Council meeting. Our first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, move on to the roll call members. Madam Clerk, the roll, please.
Mike Kincaid.
Present.
Keith Campbell.
Here.
Sandra Jasonowski. Dick Robertson.
Here.
John Copeland.
Here.
Sierra Messenger. And Robert Hawkins.
Here.
Thank you.
All members are present, so we'll move on to our first items here. First up will be a swearing in of new Lebanon Fire Department firefighters. So Chief Batts.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight we have the opportunity to swear in two of our newest recruits, Jimmy Midens and Elliot Young. They are currently in their 5th week at the Pike Township Fire Academy, both doing a wonderful job. So to get started, I would like to invite up Elliot Young.
Okay. All right, right hand, raise your right hand. After me. I state your name.
I, Elliot Young,
Solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and all
all laws and ordinances
of the City of Lebanon,
of the City of Lebanon,
and follow all true orders
and follow all true orders
of the officers appointed over me.
of the officers appointed over me.
And I will faithfully discharge my duties
And I'll faithfully discharge my duties
as a member of the Lebanon Fire Department
as a member of the Lebanon Fire
to
Department
the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank the mayor for this opportunity, the city of Lebanon, Chief Batts, Chief Hendricks, Chief Young, my friends, my family. I'm very excited to join this brotherhood of the Lebanon Fire Department and serve this city that I grew up in and love with my whole heart. Thank you so much.
I'd like to invite up Jimmy Midens.
All right. I state your name.
I, Jimmy Midens,
Solemnly swear.
solemnly swear.
Raise that hand for me. Do over.
Up.
Oh, there we go. You're good. You're up. A little nervous. It's okay. All right. Here, we'll start over for you, all right? All right. I state your name.
I, Jimmy Midens,
Solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and all laws and ordinances
and all laws and ordinances
of the City of Lebanon,
of the City of Lebanon,
and follow all true orders
and follow all true orders
of the officers appointed over me.
of the officers appointed over me.
And I will faithfully discharge my duties
And I will faithfully discharge my duties
as a member of the Lebanon Fire Department
as a member of the Lebanon Fire Department
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Jimmy was a little nervous when he doesn't realize it's now he's going to be this. National anthem. Don't do that.
So I just want to start by obviously saying thank you to Mayor Gentry and the city council and all its members. I'm very thankful and appreciative of the opportunity to serve in the capacity of a firefighter and a first responder. I want to say thank you to Chief Young, Hendricks, and Chief Batts for the opportunity. I'm very excited to be a part of the brotherhood. We start fire school soon, so I'm very excited to learn as much as I can and bring all my, my skills and capabilities to the city of Lebanon. So thank you.
Thank you.
We are very blessed in the city of Lebanon. These individuals choose to come here and work, and they give it their heart and soul. I'd like to thank the A shift and the off-duty firefighters that came in tonight to represent our department.
Thank you, Chief. And we're going to stand in a short recess until the fall of the gavel. In my excitement to get to the swearing in the firefighters, I forgot to have us approve the minutes from our last meeting. So we have minutes from December 8th and also December 22nd. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes from December 8th and December 22nd.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Rob. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Next, we'll move on to a presentation concerning the citywide lighting program. Kevin, you want to introduce this?
Thank you very much. I'll be brief here. As you are all aware, last year we did a BOT RFPQ related to citywide street lighting. And so that's what we're here tonight, is to show you the results of the testing, the analysis, the citywide audit that was done. To remind you, we entered into a contract to deliver this work with ESG. They are here tonight. So without any further ado, I'll introduce Jacob Polsey and Greg Lang, who will present their report.
Mayor, council members, thank you so much for the time. So we entered into the PDA around October, and at the onset of the citywide lighting project development agreement, we had some programming meetings with city engineer Kevin Krulik and the mayor to really define what their vision is, their strategy is in terms of lighting for the next few years for the city of Lebanon. Also add a few things that we hope to impact positively, such as crime calls to 911 and maybe even traffic incidents that happens throughout the city and the borders of the city. So those were our marching orders for this full city audit. And then lastly, on top of that you've done a lot of construction, a lot of improvements over the last 5 years, as you know, was to verify all the new lighting that was done over that 5 years, make sure it's inside the GIS, Government Information System, appropriately, and that everything in the system is spot on. So we started with that, and I'll let Greg tell you a little bit about Greg. Lang is our senior project engineer. He's a professional engineer at ESG. He had the audit and our auditing team. I'm Jacob Polsey. I'm a team lead and developer at Energy Systems Group out of the Indianapolis office.
Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate it. And so the areas that we went throughout the city were north of I-65, throughout all the neighborhoods, downtown, and we took a look at all your lights. And the amount of lights that we looked at were 2,139 light fixtures, exterior. They're all in the decorative lights. They were canopy lights, street barn lights, things of that nature. So, and what that looks like on the GIS system, pull that up. So this is the government information system. It looks pretty cluttered, but what we did is we went through, and the red indicates items that were relocated, streetlights. So we put them exactly where they are currently installed. And then projects that Jacob mentioned that the city has performed over the last 5 years, like East Street, we have Fordyce, also Main Street as well. So all those were added into the system, and that's shown here in pink. So those were all documented and put into the system for future use.
That was over about a month period of 3 teams physically with sensors looking at every single, literally touching every light bulb that you have.
We also looked at auto accidents and the 911 calls. The auto accidents we looked at, most of the incidents occurred on the on and off ramps of I-65. There were a few that we looked at along State Route 39 and some on 32. We looked at adding a couple lights in those locations, and that was our recommendation based on those findings.
So the second part obviously was verify. First was verify everything that we have. The second part was, can we positively, where are the accidents? Where are the traffic accidents? Can we positively impact those accidents with lighting? So we started with all the information that we can gather from the state, locally, and we came up with your kind of hot spots for traffic, which you just showed you. And inside the report, define some of the specific ways we think we could add lights to those hot spots that we just showed you to make a positive impact on potential future traffic accidents. And then we go right into this heat map, which is our second charge of, these are 911 calls. So these are kind of the hotspot areas in the town as of right now. And we did really deep dives into all these hotspots within the heat map, especially the 5 identified here, and said, with our team, how can we potentially rearrange these areas in terms of lighting and make an impact and decrease some of these numbers?
So then what we did was we went through in each of those locations, and we'll take Hoosier Estates, for example. We went through and with our updated GIS system, with the updated light locations, we overlaid the 911 heat map, and we determined that we needed to add or made some recommendations to add some lighting. And that design is located on the right-hand side of the screen up there. So you can see that we added significant lighting to this location, and it also adds decorative lighting as well.
And part of the mayor and Kevin's strategy was you've done a lot of great work, street work, lighting work, just beautification of the city of Lebanon work, over the last 5 years. So we're expanding that citywide lighting and keeping it as beautiful as you've done in the last 5 years in all of these areas while impacting crime, while impacting traffic. So these are all decorative, beautiful lightings, same as you have now. And our goal here is to not only make those positive impacts, but just grow the beautification of Lebanon per the strategies of the administration.
And then also what we did was we went through all 5 of those locations and we put together some budgets for the city to look at and review.
So of the top 5 that we identified there, those are the individual that you're privy to within our report. These aren't budget numbers. They're harder numbers than that. They're our team of suppliers, manufacturers, and installers and electricians, us as the team lead, the engineer and designers. So all of us came together and built these ranges. So they're not fully hard guaranteed numbers. So once a selection of scope is made in the future, basically what we'll do is we'll finish off the design that we did in the audit that we delivered in January, go back to bid it to a hard number, a guaranteed number, and come back to you with the scope of work that the administration chooses and likes to create a phase 1, and then a price that's guaranteed.
And based on the 911 calls, the heat map overlay, we recommend starting with number 1 and 2, the Hoosier Estates and the Elm Street mobile homes.
That one, just the last page. This would be somewhat of a potential phase 1. The phase 1's up in the air. We do exactly what the administration feels they want to do. So this was our idea based on the findings, based on their vision for the future. So this is a potential phase 1, but phase 1 is up to all of you. So we hope that you find the report a good read. It's pretty solid. Your GIS system, as of right now, we went ahead and updated everything for you. Instead of sending you a report, we physically did it. So it's up to date, showing all your past work in the last several years that wasn't inputted. So it's all good to go. And we really enjoyed this project and hope we can move forward and build something for you and continue making Lebanon beautiful in the future. So if you have any questions, we're all ears.
Any questions from council? Dick?
I have a question.
Sure. Keith, get your microphone.
Okay, I'm sorry. Where the mobile homes are, the owners of the park, are they gonna pay for those for the lights?
This would, from our understanding in our report, this would be a city-funded project.
Yeah.
And city-owned utility lights, similar to what you've been doing, if not exactly the same, over the last 5 years.
And the
So
lighting-
keeping a smooth theme in your city's design moving forward and as you branch out.
And the lighting would be located in the utility easements.
And just to go in, we do a lot of work on the far end to make sure when we're final designing the locations of these lights in said neighborhood, that these lights, we're doing everything we possibly can to show they're not shining in that person's home and disturbing them in any way. We're trying to impact the community in a better and then beautify it. We don't want to cause more problems. So we put a lot of time and effort into engineering and design to make sure these lights aren't shining in people's homes.
Dick, do you have a question? Yep.
My question is, you created all this on GIS data. Where is that data? Who's got that data?
It's already currently in your internal GIS system in Lebanon's.
We
In
didn't,
the Utilities Department?
Correct.
yeah,
So
so
they have that data.
we didn't duplicate it and download it. We were given temporary access
Okay.
and had a GIS specialist of our own. As we went and located these and moved some that were in the wrong spot, we just went ahead and updated it.
Yeah.
We
So you
figured
just
instead of giving you a report,
updated their layer
Boom.
of
Yeah,
GIS?
It's fully
So
updated, yes.
you're spot on the money right now.
Right, okay. My thoughts also have been, I understand some of these places that we're talking about doing, but it's kind of concerns me that we pay for, the lighting and so forth right now, okay? We're going to add additional lighting, and it's like, how much more is that going to cost us presently to add more? I know equipment's going to cost us, because we have to pay for the pole and utilities will install or at least take care of it after that system. But we have to pay for the power and electricity to that. What additional cost is that going to be in that neighborhood?
So our budgeted
Do
numbers
we
that
know?
you see at the last couple pages of the report, so 5 individual hotspot areas, and then the last page, which is a potential phase 1 that combines the top 2, those are all your costs. So we're including buying, we're including design, your soft costs, we're including pulling power, maybe underground boring, maybe foundations. So in those ranges, now remember, they're not hard costs yet. I still got to send this out to bid, but they're really, really close because we worked on this from October until last month. So they're not budget numbers, but they're not a full guaranteed number, but they're really, really close and they're all in, turnkey.
I understand that,
Okay.
but every month we pay a charge for electricity,
Yeah.
for power
Let me
poles.
get that one.
How much more is that cost going to be to the city to take care of that?
Yeah, Mr. Robinson, I'll answer that. So it's the similar utility. It's going to be the same wattage. So it's not like new lights everywhere. It'll be a handful of lights specifically at Hoosier Estates. The others are removing the utility pole, the wooden pole there, and then putting a new decorative pole with concrete base and new electric, or just reconnecting the existing electric there. At the Elm Woods, there's actually about 2/3 more lighting there. So that would be some additional utility costs, and it'd be per light pole is how I believe the utility charges. So that would be an added cost for the town, but it's a very minor cost associated with that. The rest of these were more remove, replace.
And Jake, was there some analysis too of cost savings of, obviously LED technology and lightings have advanced quite a bit in the last 10 years even.
Yeah.
Was there some analysis there too of cost savings on some of these projects as well, if we just kind of change the types of bulbs as well?
I'll start and let Greg finish, but so you guys have been doing a good job with LED lighting for quite a while. But like the mayor said, there is a savings LED to LED these days because like solar, it's getting better every 6 months. Okay. So yes, we include some of that information in there. But on top of, I guess I didn't mention in the beginning, the beautification, following the strategies and the vision of the city, we are an efficiency company. So everything we do goes through a measurement verification internally in our own company to make sure we're as efficient as you could humanly be or better than anything that you've got. So we're paying attention to the additional cost. And we kind of guarantee those facts that it's going to be as efficient as you have or better.
Did you see throughout your study or whatever, because I know the city utilities went through a change several years ago. Okay. Going through the whole system, did you see any improvements that they could make on their system? They're going to have to take care of all this when it's done. So I guess I'm trying to get to, was there still coordination with the utilities on trying to make sure the products are workable, that they're going to maintain at a very reasonable cost in the future?
Yeah, the products that they use are high quality products. They did projects in 2012, 22, I think 18, and even 23 as well. So all those projects have LED lights. Like Jacob said, we're going to look to see if we can improve some from 2012. But in the GIS system, I mean, it shows lighting, it shows the electrical connections. It's very detailed in your existing and new GIS system. All in there.
And really with the efficiencies of, even if you did all 5 at once, we're not going to overwhelm the utility in any way. That's how efficient these lights are.
I wasn't worried about that. I
Yeah.
was just worried about making sure that they could maintain it afterwards. That's all I.
It'd be the same equipment or very similar to what we have today as well. So it wouldn't be.
The whole idea when we were doing lighting years ago was trying to not get 5 different styles of lighting.
Yep.
Correct.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
we're going to have 5 different styles of bases of lighting. Yeah, we could have that. But the top all needs to be the same so everything coordinates.
Correct.
That
Yeah.
they've only got one thing they have to deal with as
Correct.
far as that part goes.
The same, we're trying to get the
The
poles
pole is
close as
something we
can.
got to buy no
Yeah.
matter what happens, so.
Mr. Robinson, I'll say this, and this isn't a ploy. I've known the mayor for many, many years. I've wanted to work with you guys for many, many years. So our transition and handoff, we're not done until you guys are happy. So I think you'll find our commissioning and our handoff and our transition into we're done and now it's yours you're going to be completely satisfied before we ever leave your side. That's a promise from me.
Your report didn't touch on the things I'm interested in.
Yeah.
So, it's a good report.
Yeah.
It just didn't touch on the things I'm interested in.
Gotcha.
And have been for years for the city, so
Yeah, we'll have
I'm not happy with it.
we'll have the same temperature lighting. Well, it'll be same temperature lighting.
is a
They'll
good
all look the
report, though.
same.
It is a good
So-
report.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Jacob? Oh,
I just had kind of an, not off subject, but in your guys' analysis throughout the city, did you guys happen to take notes of like, if you saw a pole where the lighting was like burnout or if the light bulbs were missing, or you know what I mean? Like or we had some that were broken, things like that. Is there a way to filter your report to get that? Because I know the utilities has to do periodic audits and checks to make sure all of the things working. I didn't know if we could filter your data that you guys did to help them out that way too.
Not on that, that we didn't go around and look at that. There were a handful that we did see that were burnout, but yeah, that was not documented on this iteration.
Okay.
But we definitely can go through and do that.
Awesome. That'd be great. I'm sure they would really appreciate that.
Did you have a question?
And yeah, not only, now this is going to beautify that area and make it a little more cohesive with what we already have, but it's also going to deter crime and accidents possibly because of the additional lighting. Is that correct?
That is the goal.
Yes. That's the
That is the goal. Continue beautifying. It's continuing the work you've already done, doing it as efficient or more efficient with the latest, greatest, and matching. So matching the models, being more efficient if possible, and impacting crime and accidents in any way we possibly can. Those were our charges, but while sticking within the strategies that you guys have all developed over the last several years.
The lighting is awesome there. And then to make it cohesive with what we have is good.
Yeah.
I agree.
We're not reinventing any wheel. It's keeping on what you've done. You guys have done a great job.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Jacob and Greg. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Good report, thanks.
Just one quick addition.
Yeah.
Yes, we're looking at the citywide, to look at how we shine a light on some things that are bad, like accidents and police runs and things like that. And we're also making our city more inviting, more walkable. And we think all those things, lighting and walkability, does increase all those things that we're trying to promote and see Lebanon thrive. To your question, Dick, one of the other conversations that we're having is we're going to engage ESG and Lebanon Utilities. We've already had some of these preliminary conversations. We want to look at how we handle street lighting as a relationship between the city and Lebanon Utilities. We want to look at what we pay for those flat rate lights, what we pay for lights that are metered. We want to make sure that we are clear and on the same page as to who does what related to maintenance and operations of that system. So we're also planning to sort of audit those whole operational systems and protocols as we move this forward. So,
Thanks, Al.
Thank you, Devin.
And there's a lot of kids in that area too. The first one you're going to. And I think that this is going to help them stay safe because they get out and play and run around at night, and it's going to make them more so that they can be seen. So I really think we need it there.
Yeah, it's a combination of safety, crime reduction, but also, frankly, having some pride in your community and your neighborhood too, right? As part of it as well. Yeah. So.
That's in my territory, so I'm for it.
Okay, very good. All right, thank you, Sandra. All right, let's move on to old business. There's nothing on my agenda from that. Is there anything from council? Okay, new business then. First item up here is resolution 2026-04. This is a resolution approving appropriation encumbrances for 2025 budget year. Tanya.
Yeah, this is a report, actually it's a resolution that we have found out that we need to do yearly. We have not done this in the past. So I will just read the resolution and I'll give you the totals from each department. So it's a resolution of the Common Council, the City of Lebanon, Indiana, for approving appropriation encumbrances for the 2025 budget year. Lebanon Police Department is $41,851. Engineering Department is $2,992,323. Parks Department is $73,942. Fire Department is $27,172, and that's a grand total of $3,135,290. These are, to explain encumbrances, just in case, These are monies that we had left over in the budget that if you have a contract, you can go ahead and conserve, keep that money without turning it back into the general fund and then spend it this year as long as you've got a contract for that job. So that's what we have done, and this is for the council to approve and sign off on.
And for the engineering project, Kevin, I know if you're probably in the back of the room there, but do you want to touch on why yours was a little higher than just from a timing standpoint?
Other than engineering is awesome.
Say
Sorry, this is Engineers Week, by the way. So,
There we go. What a
yes,
lead-in.
primarily these are road projects that we were already under contract, already in the process on. I don't know that I could break it down for you off the top of my head, dollar by dollar, but this includes,
Break it down if you want to.
No, I just wanted to
it
touch on
includes
the,
money for Grant Street Phase 2, money for Witt Road, money for Noble Street. Grant Street is the inspection contracts related to that construction that will start this spring. Witt Road is related to right-of-way buying, additional engineering, and eventually construction that will be under contract before the year end. And then Noble Street is continued engineering services.
I just wanted to clarify, like, it's for projects that we have ongoing. It's just the time that
These are
fell
not
is why
new projects. These are expenses, contracts, projects that you've already approved. This is, as Tanya said, encumbering money that was budgeted last year into 2026.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Now, is this a resolution or is it a district appropriation?
It's a resolution.
So it's not so I don't need a public hearing?
No.
Okay. Is there any public comment then concerning resolution 2026-04? Okay, any discussion from council?
Motion, we approve resolution 2026-04.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second from Sierra. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Thank you, council. All right, next up here is ordinance 2026-05. This is designating the allocation of utility services to the civil and LEAP water districts. This ordinance on first reading. There also is an agreement related to this as well too that the council will handle first. But Rob, do you want to do this or Jeff Jacob to start? Jeff Jacob, you want to come forward and introduce this for everybody?
Good evening, council, mayor. You have in front of you a water usage coordination allocation agreement with IEDC. And just to remind everyone, this is a reflection of the 2024 agreement, the water supply agreement that the utility board and city council entered into with Citizens Energy Group for the supply of 25 million gallons of water a day, starting in January of 27 and phasing in through January of 2031. To also remind you, some time ago, the utility board and city council created two distinct rate districts. One was the LEAP rate district and the other was the civil district. This agreement simply memorializes that long ago discussed plan on how the water will be utilized between those two districts. And we've reached agreements with IEDC that 5 million gallons a day will be utilized for the civil district and 20 million gallons a day will be utilized for the LEAP district. Now, to give you some perspective, the city currently uses about 3 million gallons a day and has a total capacity of 4.6 million gallons a day. So relative to what we're carving off for the civil district, we are more than doubling its current allocation or capacity. So I'm happy to answer any questions related to that agreement. This reflects a long ago plan that the utility board, the mayor and city council have negotiated and put forth. There is a ordinance that Mr. Shine can address that corresponds with this agreement, but happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Jeff at this time from the city council? No, sir. Okay. Rob, can you touch on how this agreement relates to Rob Shine, the ordinance with the agreement, how they interrelate with each other?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, Council. So one of the things that the IEDC Lebanon Utilities had authorized is for the city to enter into this agreement to memorialize it. And the ordinance will just be having a record of that. And as you'll see, and I'm happy to read it into the record, but it's to allow for cooperation through the process. Again, this has involved many months of discussions. We've already gone through phase one of the public infrastructure financing. We're going to be coming back here shortly in the spring for phase two of it. So this will just memorialize again just how that water will be allocated.
Any questions for Rob from council this time? No, sir. You mind reading it for us, Rob? Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So ordinance on first reading is 2026-05 is the ordinance of this council designating utility allocations to the Civil Water District and the Leap Water District. The City of Lebanon Utilities provides water and wastewater utility services within the City of Lebanon, including the Leap Water District and the Civil Water District. Whereas to provide water service within the Leap Water District, the utility required the expansion of and additions to its water distribution infrastructure and services and an additional source of water supply. The IEDC and the utility have entered into agreements with Citizens Energy Group, and that's defined as citizens, to secure 25 million gallons per day of water on a wholesale basis for the city by 2031. Whereas the city, upon recommendation of the Utility Services Board, has approved bond issuance for water infrastructure construction projects to deliver the water supply to the city. The IEDC, the utility, the city, and the Indiana Finance Authority have partnered to secure financing for the necessary infrastructure installations, both inside and outside the corporate limits of the city, to provide additional water supply. The utility finds that it is necessary to coordinate the phased usage of water resources for the benefit of both the Civil Water District and the Leap Water District. The city acknowledges the utility's recommendation to coordinate the phased usage of water resources, again, for both the Civil Water District and the Leap Water District. The utility entered into an agreement with IEDC to define and coordinate the water allocation, the infrastructure planning, and the cost responsibilities associated with the water usage. Therefore, be it resolved, this council finds that the allocation of water supply to the Civil Water District of 5 million gallons per day of water from citizens and corresponding wastewater services are hereby specifically designated for the use within the Civil Water and Wastewater District, as may be further defined by this council. The allocation of the water supply to the Leap Water District of 20 million gallons per day of water from citizens and corresponding wastewater services are hereby specifically designated for use within the Leap Water and Wastewater District, as may be further defined by this council. The utility shall coordinate with the IEDC in order to allocate and provide the phased water supply as it is delivered to the city between the years 2027 and 2031. This ordinance shall be effective upon its adoption by this council, approval by the mayor, in accordance with Indiana law.
Thank you, Rob. Any questions, comments from council this time? Okay. This time I'll open actually we'll just have public comment concerning ordinance 2026-05. Please state your name and address for the record and keep comments to 3 minutes if possible.
Hi, I'm Jack Bennett. I'm a Lebanon resident, and I request that you defer the vote on this until we get pre-allocation agreements publicly made with the ones with Meta and Eli Lilly, but especially until we get an IDEM anti-degradation study. I keep hearing that it will be getting it, and we've not gotten it yet. So, I'm just thinking we really should see that before we move forward with this. And I just ask that we get more time before this project is advanced.
Thank you for your comments. Jack, the pre-allocation agreements for Meta and for the other actually are public record. We've adopted those as city council, so you can find those on the city website.
Okay.
Yep. Any additional public comment?
Hello, I'm Tina Oakes. I'm a member of Pike Township. I've lived there for over 20 years. And a lot of people here, and it keeps getting glossed over, is we know that Eagle Creek Reservoir is only going to supply part of these 20 million or 25 million gallons of water. But the part that keeps getting glossed over that we're very, very concerned about is that right now everybody's telling us all the wastewater is going to be returned to Eagle Creek Reservoir. And that reservoir is not meant for that. And it's my understanding there's supposed to be other studies done to understand the true impact of returning that amount of wastewater. So can anybody from the council address that?
The PER has been submitted item and they're reviewing it from that standpoint.
Do you know when that?
I believe the PR is posted on our website. Jeff, I'm looking on the utility standpoint. Yep.
And is that by an independent company or is that by the city of Lebanon or citizens?
I think it's formed by us, but the IDEM is an independent party that they'll review it.
Okay,
Yep.
Thank you.
Additional public comment?
Hi, my name is Megan Grandy, and I'm a lifelong resident of the West Side. I am a Pike resident. But an IDEM's February letter said that permits may not be proceed until the anti-degradation study is approved. So how can you approve or go on with permitting if that's not been approved yet?
Jeff or Ed, do you guys want to touch on that?
Good evening, I'm Ed Baskell. I'm the general manager for Lebanon Utilities. The PER for our project is approved, and that's what's needed to proceed with the project. What isn't approved yet is we're working on where it's going to be discharged. There's something called an anti-degradation study and a final approval of an NPDES permit. Now, where we're looking at discharging it, the initial site, according to our engineers, was right near Eagle Creek. They picked that site out of 7 different sites because that was the one that would give them the strictest limits. We're still studying that. We're doing something called an anti-degradation study. It's going to take several months, and we're looking at it. So it might not be discharged right at Eagle Creek. It might be somewhere further upstream. The idea is to have watershed balance and return it to that watershed as is a good environmental practice for making sure that there's no droughts in Eagle Creek, and we're returning the 15 million gallons a day per the agreement with or the desires of Citizens Energy Group, because they need the water because they've been the ones managing the Eagle Creek Reservoir. So does that help? Or
It's not approved yet? It's not completed?
yeah, the actual spot we're going to discharge and the anti-degradation study is not yet completed. But we will discharge somewhere so the project can go forward, and we're not going to be in construction for the discharge line until 2028.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Ed. Further public comment?
I'm Charles Goff. I'm a almost 21-year resident of Lebanon, a past Commodore of Eagle Creek Sailing Club and member there. I'm just concerned at the haste that this has gone forth. I think there's a plan, Meta's broken ground. Nobody really knows how this is all going to come to fruition. And I think that's the biggest problem, in my opinion, personally, is Meta. There's not great data on data centers. I don't know what all Lebanon Utilities is going to be treated for. You can have clear water that's not safe. There's just a lot of issues that have not been disclosed. And it's a real problem. You can put it on a website. That's not communicating.
Thank you for your comments. Additional public comment?
Hello, my name is Eric Rudez. I'm a citizen of Traders Point, just a mile and a quarter south of the Boone County line in Marion County. I live about a mile I live about 3/4 of a mile from the proposed current wastewater dump site. And I'm a fisherman of Eagle Creek. I have been a member of my community there in Traders Point since 1980. It's been there a long time. I've fished that reservoir since I was a little kid with my dad and my grandpa. And to this day, I still supplement my family's protein by catching fish in the Eagle Creek Reservoir. And I know probably some of you on the council are fishermen, fisherwomen. And I don't know if any of you would feel comfortable catching and keeping and eating a fish that is from water that is not even safe to drink. So this is going to affect me several different ways. And I would also like to make everybody aware of, of the blue-green algae blooms that happen because of wastewater. It's already gone on in Geist, and it makes the water poisonous. Your dog goes in the water, he licks his fur, he's going to get sick. There's a nationally sanctioned rowing course on Eagle Creek that brings in a lot of revenue. And those rowboats will be right at water level. Those people get splashed with this water. It's bad for them. It makes them sick. Who knows how it's going to affect the money that flows because of the events that are held there. So, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. And I hope you guys, the council, really think about this on all the different levels and not just the money that's behind it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Just public comment?
Good evening, Council. Jody Stewart. I am a lifelong resident of Boone County. I've come before you guys tons of times. I just want to take a moment to tell each and every one of you guys that I am personally sorry for what you are being put through. The people of Lebanon have gone through the exact same thing that you guys are going through right now. We have been deceived. We've been lied to. Things have been snuck in. Things have been approved, put on the schedule, just like what happened to you guys today. You weren't prepared for this. So I just would personally like to apologize to each and every one of you. Keep voicing, keep fighting. I've been fighting this now for 2 years. For the council, thank you. I have in my hand the Indiana State Constitution. Each and every one of you, when you were elected and seated for your positions, put your hands on the Bible and you swore to protect and serve the people. When you sign an NDA, that is going outside of your granted authority. You are changing the authority that we have given you as elected officials. I would almost swear on my stepfather's grave that most of you have not even read this. Haven't even looked at it, don't even know what it says. But I will tell you, Article 1, Section 31, no law shall restrain any of the inhabitants of the state from assembling together, which we the people have, and in a peaceable manner to consult for their common good, and from instructing their representatives, which are you guys. We, the people, have served notices. You were served December the 9th, 2024, to cease and desist using public money for non-public purposes. Economic development is a non-public purpose. November the 5th of 2025, you were served a notice and demand to conserve the people's natural resources. Water is a natural resource. That was served to the utility board, and on November 10th, that same notice and demand was read into the city council meeting, and you were all served with that notice. United States 603 U.S. 2024, Trump, The conservation of the people's natural resources is an unavoidable obligation, and the use of the people's natural resources for unauthorized purposes and economic development is an unauthorized purpose, is an unofficial act for which there is no immunity. I will also remind you, maximum 84C, punishment is due if the words of an oath be false. And that is Black's Law, and that is 840.
Thank you for your comments.
That's all I have to say. Thank you.
I want to make this public here for the council. Council, have any of you signed an NDA related to anything about LEAP or any of these projects?
No, sir.
I haven't either, Jody, just so you know. Use your microphone.
I have attended 2 Constitution classes, the Biblical Citizenship class and the Constitution 101. So just so you know, some of us do and have attended these classes.
Just public comment. Ma'am.
My zip code is 46254. My name is Rachel Wolverton. I have never been to Lebanon. This is the first time I've ever been here. I'm from upstate New York, and driving into Lebanon, it felt like my hometown. Small town, everyone knows everyone, farmland, just really quiet, quaint, and special. And I feel really sad that you guys are about to lose that. And so I want to speak to you about that and just hopefully maybe try to think about what this development is going to do to your community, to your future generations of Lebanon. Not to mention everyone else speaking about Eagle Creek. Clearly, I started a petition, and almost 16,000 people are against what is about to happen to you folks and to our reservoir. But basically, I just want to ask that before you make a decision about all of this, wait for these other studies to be done and allow yourselves a little bit more time to think about what exactly you could do with this water. You could do so much. If you're going to take our water, you could do so many better things with it. You can continue to be a farmland, and we cannot eat money. We cannot drink money. But you have the ability, if we're going to send you our water, do something with it. It's going to benefit your community, not just a bunch of computers. And we've heard from these presentations from Lebanon that they can't even reuse the water because it's not cleaned enough, but it's clean enough to come back into our drinking water, not just Indianapolis's, but Speedway's and other communities. It just doesn't make sense. So I just genuinely, from my heart, I'm not going to read from this paper, just from my heart, please, before you vote on this, just give it a little bit more time, get the studies for the anti-degradation, talk to all of us about where you could send the wastewater alternatively, not just choosing Eagle Creek because it's cheap and easy. That's not right. Like, I genuinely care about your community and about my community too. And that's the only reason why I'm here today. So I thank you for hearing us. And I just wish you would wait to make a decision.
Your comments. Additional comments?
Marshall Whitlock, Lebanon, Indiana. Would you like my address?
Sure.
Okay, 2065 South 280 West, Lebanon, Indiana, 46052. First question is for you, Matt Gentry. Who do you work for?
Isn't a question and answer session, sir.
I'm asking you a question. Who do you work for? Do you work for the people out here, or do you work for corporations? Who do you work for?
I'm elected by the citizens of Lebanon.
Oh, you don't work for your voters?
The citizens of Lebanon.
You're not speaking for us right now. For none of us. We're asking you personally.
Excuse me, is this public comment or is this question and answer? I believe it's public comment.
Well, okay.
So you need to go to public comment.
I'll go ahead and make comments then,
Thank you,
okay?
sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you, not a problem. I asked you who you work for, you won't answer. You tell me however you want to tell me, all right? Where's a list of all the contaminants that's going to be discharged into our waters?
This is public comment. It's not question and answer.
Well, sir, I don't know how to get my answers. I don't get my answers from you all.
It's not answers. It's questions and answers. It's
Okay.
public comment. If you have a public comment, that's
I
what
do
you're
got
here
a
for.
public comment. All the water is going to be coming out of the Eli Lilly. It's going to be coming out of the data center that y'all have done no research on whatsoever. Y'all going to contaminate people's water, drinking water. You're going to contaminate their ability to go down here and fish and swim. You're not only doing that, you're sitting here and you're setting people up for failure for your grandchildren. I want y'all to think about that, each and every one of you.
Thank you for your comment, sir. Additional comments?
My name is Jenny Jenkins, and I live on 950 East in Zionsville. So I'm a Boone County resident, but I'm also very supportive of this group. So my question tonight for the council members is, what's the rush? If the memorandum of understanding for water usage is essentially just being re-signed tonight, and it's more of a formality, is this not an opportunity to fix it first? This is your opportunity to give more decision-making power back to the communities impacted, including Boone County. This deserves discussion and careful deliberation before anything further is adopted. So why are we hurrying?
Thank you for your comments. Just a comment.
Mr. Mayor, council members, my name is Louanne Baker. I'm a 35-year resident of Pike Township. Thank you very much for taking public comment tonight. Thank you for listening to people who have opinions on this particular project. I hope to ask you to realize that the decisions that you make and the choices that you are engaged in affect not just your own community, but many other communities here in central Indiana as well. If you turn to the ordinance, and I don't know if any of you actually have it in front of you, I'm interested in section 8. The parties also agree to engage in good faith efforts to ensure equitable and transparent allocation and planning of water infrastructure serving the Civic Water District and the Leap Water District. I would offer to you that you're serving a lot of other folks as well. Has been mentioned, the 15 to 25 million gallons of wastewater that is headed to Eagle Creek is not a water balance compared to the 1 to 3 million gallons of water you intend to take from our reservoir to bring up to supply your water needs. 1 to 3 million gallons from the reservoir does not equate to 25 million gallons of water that gets redeposited back into it. If there were, in fact, transparent and equitable discussions, I think we might choose to be in a very different place. Bullet number 9, I would also ask to call your attention to. If at some point it's determined that the Leap Water District or the Civil Water District may need more than their portions, may need more than the 25 million gallons that you already have agreed to, you will seek additional water from citizens or another source. You will seek additional water from citizens or another source. So for people who live in the Indianapolis area whose water is already providing you 25 million gallons a day, you will seek additional water, and perhaps you will also go to our neighbors to the north in the Wabash Basin, in Tippecanoe County, Lafayette, and West Lafayette, who have already very plainly made their feelings known about this particular project. I would ask for number 8 that you consider to make those meetings on a semi-annual basis public, so that there is great understanding and transparency in your actions and your intent in moving forward. This project is impacting so many people at so many levels, and there has been so little public discussion up until this point. Thank you again for engaging and allowing people to provide their thoughts and comments.
Thank you for your comments.
Hello. Oh,
Yep, good.
am I good?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. My name is Dawn Gleason. I live in Indianapolis. I am not a member of Pike Township, but Washington Township instead. This is only my second time talking at a microphone besides karaoke. That's to make everybody laugh, even though this isn't funny. But I just want to let you know, I appreciate your time. I appreciate There were 3 men here last week. One of them was the manager, I think, of all the utilities. Ryan was, I think, the water manager. And then John, I think, is a consultant, but I don't know what group he is with. And they were more than willing to sit with us for probably an hour and a half after the meeting last week to talk to us, which I was floored by, having been at a meeting 2 weeks ago where no answers seemed to be given because there wasn't a lot of time because there were 400 people there wanting their questions answered, rightly so. I just want to let you know, I do have kids. I'm an active outdoor person. I have scouts who have been into Eagle Creek into the water for kayaking merit badge. I don't know if we'll be able to use Eagle Creek in the future for that because that would be rather concerning. I'm sure you're aware of this. I'm not going to ask questions. I'm sure you're aware that there are over 42 events have happened in Eagle Creek since 2020, not 1920, since 2000. And coming up this year alone is the Big Ten Women's Rowing Championships. They've been happening there forever. Midwest Scholastic Rowing Championships, U.S. Rowing Club. I could go on and on about all of those different rowing opportunities and clubs that are used. I'm sure you know that there are a lot of them. In terms of park attractions, 1.3 million visitors go to that park every year. Grand Canyon only gets 4 million. That park gets 1.3 million. Pretty incredible. Eli Lilly Foundation gave $2.6 million within the last 2 years to build up that park. That's how important that park is to Indianapolis and the surrounding area and the state of Indiana. If you look on Travel Advisory, it's the #2 place to go in Indianapolis for any type of outdoor recreation. If we now start dumping wastewater into there, I don't know if that's going to be the case anymore. That means that we're losing economic opportunities. If you look at the park attractions, there are 27 of them. The most important, of course, would be the Bark Park, the Earth Discovery Center, fishing areas, Lily Lake Pedal, the fact that SEBA Bicycling Club goes there, the fact that Tuxboro has 3 different events there every year in which hundreds of people get into that water at the moment. All of those will go away. We have retreat centers out there. We have a sailing day camp. That means children are in that water for day camp. We have sailboat, rowboat, and canoe rentals. That will probably go away if that wastewater gets dumped into there. From what I learned last week, those are not being filtered, and if I'm incorrect on that, someone can correct me, but I believe that phosphorus and nitrogen are not being filtered out of the water at the moment. That is what causes the blue algae. If the water isn't clean for those 2, that's very, very, very alarming to me. I don't know what kind of risk assessments you've done living in Indianapolis. I can tell you right now, I live in an area in which the water supply may have lead in it. I've been there 25 years. It took Citizens Energy a year and a half to finally say, you probably have lead water. All of the letters before that said, you don't have lead, you don't have lead, you don't have lead. Now I have lead water. They're going to replace my water lines, which is awesome. But I wish I would have known sooner that I had lead water. The current sewer in your town of Lebanon, from what I understand, is clay tile. It appears it hasn't been updated. Having just replaced 190 feet of clay tile in my own house, I know how expensive that is. I know what the disruptions are. What does your budget look like when you're building the LEAP project in terms of how are you going to, if something happens with that clay tile, and if it's more than 50 years old, the chance of it breaking are pretty high. How are you going to budget the money that's supposed to go for LEAP and R and cleaning the water if you have to put that money into your clay tile and your sewers? That's a huge question in my mind. Do you have lead in your water supply? What happens if you do have lead in your water supply? What money that was going to go to cleaning the water that's supposed to come back to Indy is going to go to help with that water supply? And then the last question is, it's a $700 million budget. I'm in construction. What happens if the expenses are over more than $700 million? Who pays for that? The hospital in Indianapolis? Oh my gosh. Like I think it was supposed to be a couple $100 million and now it's like 3 times the amount. So those are all of my statements. The last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm done, and I'm sorry I'm taking so long, but I don't know if there's going to be time again to do this, is that we have a plant called the Subaru plant of Indiana. Subaru of Indiana automotive plant in Lafayette uses water, but it's heavily managed and conserved, with 99% of that water used in the painting process being recycled. The plant, which is the only U.S. manufacturing plant for Subaru, uses water primarily for cooling engines, sounds like a data center to me, and washing, cleaning, and painting car bodies. Somehow they have figured out to do high-level recycling. They have no environmental impact, and their water sources are derived from nearby aquifers. So there is an option to do more than just dumping that water into Eagle Creek. And the last thing I'll say, which is a question, but it's really rhetorical, nobody needs to answer, is in the anti-degradation study, I hope that that gets done before anybody signs. And number two, is the location decided already to be Eagle Creek? Because something I heard makes me think that. But is your real question here tonight whether or not you're using Eagle Creek to dump into, or are you trying to figure out how far up you can go so that people don't see what you're actually doing? You don't need to answer that, but I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Additional comment?
Good evening. Hi, my name is Yadira Holgan. I am a resident of Hamilton County, and I grew up in Pike Township. My family still lives in Pike Township, and this is more so to address, everyone in this room, obviously. I've heard a lot of people say, why are we rushing things, right? So I have heard from people that are working on the Dominion project, which is, right, Meta, that they are moving things along. Pressure, right? Pressure is what they are doing. And I just hope that you all feel the pressure from our communities, because this project cannot go on. That's all I need to say. Thank you.
Everyone could clap after every comment. We're less people gonna be able to talk. So I understand a quick outburst, that's fine, but let's not do an extended one, please. So go ahead, sir. I'm trying to let you all speak tonight, guys. Go ahead, sir.
I don't have any speech planned or anything. My name's Ryan Hughes. I've lived in Zionsville pretty much my whole life. I've just seen Whitestown. It used to be such a beautiful little town, and now you look at it and there's buildings and everything being built up. It's becoming more and more dystopian. I just fear that, you look at Indiana 10, 15 years from now, and all of these data centers are being built, that it's not going to be the same. Look at, you guys know how beautiful Lebanon is. It's beautiful. The countryside is amazing, and you guys have all grown up in that. If these data centers keep getting built up more and more, 10, 15 years from now, it is not going to be like that. It is not going to be Indiana. It's going to be unrecognizable. And I just want you guys to take that into consideration, please. It's a beautiful place, and it will get destroyed if stuff like this just keeps going on. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Further comment?
Hi, everyone. My name is Jessie Losh. I did not anticipate on speaking tonight, but I think after hearing everybody else's speeches and concerns, I felt like I had to come up here and at least stand with my community. Making detrimental decisions without full understanding of the repercussions and impact that this could have on our environment and our health is reckless and irresponsible. Drinking water is scarce, and it is a limited resource, no matter what anyone tells you or tries to make you believe differently. Our community, our environment, and our health, and our clean drinking water is more important than the billionaires. That is all I have to say.
Thank you for your comments. Additional comment?
Hi, my name's Dan Gurka. I am a Pike Township resident. I'd like to bring additional concern over to Section 9 again, talking about the seeking of additional sources of water. Now, I'd like to remind the fine people of Lebanon and the City Council, you are an additional source as well. If they decide, there's no limits here on how big this LEAP district might get, how much water it may eventually consume. There are all these provisions in here for increasing the amount of water they can require. What happens when they decide, well, okay, it's faster to take Lebanon's water than it is to run pipes out to to Lafayette or further out to the north? Nobody really seems to think the leopard's going to eat them until it's halfway down from the tree. What you need to worry about is, are you prepared to tell your constituents, hey, there's going to be water rationing this year because Zuckerberg's data center has decided it's particularly thirsty this summer? Thank you.
Additional comment?
My name is Spencer, Pike Township resident. Recently, my wife and I moved to right next to Eagle Creek. I bicycle. It makes me feel good. Driving in tonight, I noticed all the paths that you all have around the building here for people to ride bikes, exercise, be outside. The diesel generators for the Meta data center are going to be polluting your air. So you want people to come in here to walk around and ride around your town, but you're going to be polluting the air that they're breathing. Why? Why is that something that you're allowing to happen? Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Additional comments?
My name is Megan Anderson. I'm a Pike Township resident. Thanks for taking comment tonight. I know that wasn't originally on the agenda, I don't think, and the agenda was posted very late today, so it was really rushed to review. I don't know if that's a standard practice, but if you're making decisions about Indianapolis, we would prefer that we have more notice for these discussions because, you know, our city council wasn't reached out to about this plan. We weren't reached out to about this plan in our township. Mostly, I'm tired of hearing that we're winging it with millions and millions of gallons of water coming from our reservoir and from our system. Just drawing pipes on a map is winging it. This is quite serious. I'm tired of being lied to. I heard that, you know, we're neighbors helping neighbors in Pike County. I live in Pike Township. We're part of Marion County. If you all appreciate Eagle Creek, you should know that. And if you plan to take water from there. Thousands of pounds of phosphorus will be added to Eagle Creek because of this plan. That is not good for Eagle Creek. That is not good for our water. Secondly, I just wanted to say that, you know, the groundbreaking, it was very interesting to see that the day after our big meeting we had with utility officials in Pike Township. That was not mentioned. This whole plan to do water conservation at Meta was not mentioned. I still would like, you know, clarity in writing how much water Meta will really truly use. And that water doesn't seem to be returning to our water system even after those announcements. And it was a little disheartening to see that people at that groundbreaking didn't really even have the full details of all of Meta's commitments. And again, we need to stop winging it because this is a huge development and the resource needs are massive. I think that's everything. And I really hope you all will think about updating your memorandum of water use agreement. Anyways, thank you so much.
Thank you for your comments. Additional comments?
Hi, Eric Olson. I'm in Pike Township, Traders Point area. I did not plan on speaking tonight, but I've been in the data center business for 25 years, and I've been watching what's been going on here for the last several years. And we are going through a process right now that you guys will find out that, you know, Mark Zuckerberg, they have 18 to 20 buildings planned for that area. So this is initial numbers that we're talking about, and it doesn't have to be like this. I can understand that you're going to bring 1.52 million gallons of water from Eagle Creek, which I think is sustainable. We'll have to do some things about it, and they'll be pulling from other places. So the inputs of the water are not quite as important as the output. There are ways to do that. The AWS data center up in Carlisle is a closed loop system. So the one lady was talking about earlier, you don't have to bring that water in and then flush it down the toilet. You can take that, keep it in-house, and just reuse it, clean it locally, and just continue to do that. You'll lose some from evaporation, but you will eventually be saving all of that cost of shipping it off. If you do decide to ship it off, there are other places it can go. We just spent billions of dollars of what do they call it? Indy Dig project, where they're doing the combined sewer overflow that is like 1/10 filled at a max right now. If citizens would just spend a little more money and take these lines and run it down to the Dig Indy tunnel on the north side, it would run all the way to the south, and there's a big treatment plant, an oversized treatment plant that would handle that much water flow from this and other things. They can treat that into potable water. So I just think you guys need to seriously consider slowing this down just a little bit. I mean, you can make whatever decision and say that, yeah, we've made a decision, we are going to do this, but let's wait for the studies, for the ecological studies, because that water is going to ruin estuaries, for the aviary, for the birds that come in. All these birds that come in from Kenton that are traveling south, they stop here on the way. And the north side of Eagle Creek is all very, very ecologically endangered if this goes through. And all the other things that everybody's talking about, it's just, I mean, I understand the economic development opportunity. I think, and the other thing, Lily, I was worried that this was about Lily, that Lily was going to use a lot of the water. I found out they're only going to use like maybe 1/10 of the amount of water of what the data centers are. And Mark Zuckerberg does not need, they're in this huge race for artificial intelligence right now. We don't even know if someone wins that, whoever wins, the rest of them are screwed. And pardon my French, but that's something that you have to consider. He may decide, I don't need that anymore, and we will build all this infrastructure for them, and they just decide not to expand like they're going to. So there's just so many things up in the air right now. I wish there was some way that you guys could slow this down, just so at least we could get the ecological reports, so that you know what you're doing. Doesn't mean you have to, I mean, I'm all for this if it works out, but I just don't want it to work out and have it ruin a lot of lives.
So 2 points for you. One, Meta is using a closed loop system, and two, the water that would go from Lebanon to Eagle Creek, has that been through our wastewater treatment plant once already as well. So I just want to clarify that for you. So it's not untreated.
Well, the problem is you're taking out 2 million and you're giving back 25 million. That just doesn't make sense.
It's balancing between the Prairie Creek watershed and the White River watershed, the Wabash, because Lebanon straddles, we're in the Wabash watershed, and the White River watershed is where Indianapolis is, right? So the 25 needs returned back, because if we put it,
they voted that down. They weren't going to let you use that.
no, I can talk to you after, sir, but that's a longer story than that. So, yeah. Sure, that's fine. Yeah, sure. Okay, sure, that's fine. So when that was first being explored, to bring water down from the Wabash area, the Taze Aquifer underneath the Wabash River, there was a large semiconductor facility that was looking at the LEAP district, which was why they had a significant amount of water usage. That's why the IDC was looking at the Lafayette area. That site, or that project, ended up going somewhere else. So therefore, that scale of water, the 50 million gallons of water, was no longer needed. So initially, that was being talked about 100 million gallons, because that was, trying to solve the long-term problem that Indianapolis has from a water system standpoint as well too. So we're here tonight. We're returning the water back to the Eagle Creek Reservoir because citizens wants the water to retain within the White River watershed. So if we just dumped it out into Prairie Creek here, it would slowly make its way to Sugar Creek and then to the Wabash River. So if we just dumped it into our local creeks here, it would not get back to you guys. So that's part of why citizens want to return to the reservoir. Good, ma'am.
My name is Danielle Whitlock. I live in Lebanon, South 280 West. And we live a mile and a half from the site where they're starting to build this metadata center. Our 10-foot deep pond is already dry. Our well, measured by the DNR, has already gone down 6 feet. We are having our water tested regularly, and I've posted to your Pike Township page and the Lebanon Chatter too, a video showing experts on data centers. There is plenty of data out there. These are the experts that do the science that teach doctors. The closed loop system is a lie, and there are contaminants that are in this wastewater that cannot be cleaned. And you want to discharge us back into our groundwater. We live on the groundwater. Lots of people in the county and in the surrounding counties live on the groundwater. There is a lot of lies that goes on with this system. The data centers are not safe. The pharmaceutical companies, when they have their wastewater discharge, they cannot be cleaned properly. There's always contamination. There's always thermal effects. And the people are not being educated properly. And I did post that link for you guys to see on your page also.
Thank you for your comments.
Thanks.
Additional comments?
I just want to stand here and look at each individual in the eyes right now. I wasn't planning on coming out tonight. I got a last minute thing. I'm just Courtney Brooks from Pike Township. And I just want to see the faces that are responsible for ruining Eagle Creek Park. I go there almost every night to photograph and have seen so many different, birds and pelicans and heck, the bald eagle. We're getting ready to celebrate 250 years of America. The bald eagle, which represents that, could very well be tainted because of your votes. It's so sad. Water. I went up to Flint, Michigan in 2014 to, just give water bottles to people, just give them hope. It's just really unfortunate as these faces, they don't have clean water. I've seen that firsthand. That could very well be us within a couple years because of your decision making. And I guarantee each and every single one of those people regret making that decision. A lot of times it's just for money. I get it. There's financial opportunities here. Chances for what? Maybe a couple hundred jobs. When it comes to economics, how's that helping your community to a degree? Think about your legacy here. There are long-term consequences to this. Long-term, which means it doesn't go away. Ultimately, if clean water is no longer clean, that's all of us. You're talking about, we might go upstream a little bit to dump it. Well, guess what? Everything goes downstream. You're talking about the Wabash being connected. White River, Sugar Creek, Tippecanoe, everything's connected. We are all Indiana here. We are all Indiana residents. Water connects us. Water is life. Without it, we have nothing. Do we each and every single person right now understand that? Water is life. Without that, we don't have anything. And it has to be clean water. Clean. You're talking about wastewater going within our system of Indiana, which represents us all. That is each and every one of us. Each and every person in this room has water right now going through us to represent life. Absolutely no disrespect to each and every one of you, but I don't want you to turn around 5 years from now and unfortunately regret your mistakes. You know what? And I look at each and every one of your eyes. You're human beings. I know some people, they question you as individuals right now and your decisions on a personal level. On that personal level, I want to connect with you as a person. Have you been to Eagle Creek? Have you had that opportunity to sit there and truly feed your spirit and soul? I have. I can share photos with you and share that beautiful moment that we can all connect with. At the end of the day, Eagle Creek is life, just like you and I, all of us, life and water connects us with that. And that's how I'm going to end that statement tonight. I appreciate you for giving us that time.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Further comments? Further comments? Okay. Jeff, do you want to kind of close, so to speak?
Relative to action for this evening, the request, I believe that we're on a first reading for the ordinance relative to the agreement. Be happy to consider hear a vote on that this evening, but certainly willing to wait on that till pairing that with the ordinance. So happy to answer any other questions, but that's procedurally how I'd look. This is really just to reiterate a memorialization of the agreement that was made in 2024, the water supply agreement with citizens. And this is divvying up how between the districts on how that water will work, protecting both the LEAP and the civil districts from drawing down from one another. So happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from council?
Jeff, can you maybe address their concerns about the contamination factor?
I would have to defer to some of the technical folks, Mr. Kincaid. I would just tell you this, is that Lebanon Utilities has a wastewater treatment plant. They have a good track record in terms of their NPDES permit. And then there's a state permitting process that anything that will be treated and we will be compliant with state law, state and federal law. So that's the basic. I'm sure Ed could answer that, but in terms of some of the technical questions, but in terms of a granular level, we heard discussions from clay tile to contaminants, and I can tell you that the wastewater that's moved throughout the system on the mains does not go through clay tile. So, but that's it from the attorney level. That's about as granular as I can get. So,
Ed, you got something?
Yeah, Ed, you want to answer?
Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. We will have an NPDES permit where it's going to the waters of the state, which is controlled by IDEM, and we will remove nitrogen and phosphorus and other contaminants. We do have a pre-treatment program where we look at what contaminants are coming in from any industry, including Meta and including Lilly. So, and the clay tile pipe is in the older part of town, maybe downtown. Most of our system is PVC, but with the exception of some service lines and old part of town. But yes, what you were looking at is with Eagle Creek, the water that's coming from our pipe is going to be the same or cleaner than what's already in Eagle Creek right now. Like you can look at an old report and see that the average phosphorus in Eagle Creek is about 2 parts per million, and our limit will be under 1 part per million, or even less than that with our phosphorus removal. So we're not doing this just on a whim or just because it's cheapest or easiest. It's actually harder to get it to Eagle Creek. We're doing this because we're trying to address environmental concerns. We're trying to bring water back and have watershed balance and improve Eagle Creek and improve its drought resistance. So.
Hey, and I know this isn't your area here, but are there other wastewater treatment plants that discharge to Eagle Creek?
There are 3 other wastewater treatment plants that's about 8 million gallons a day going to Eagle Creek right now. And what's interesting is the dam in wet weather that has like 10,000 cubic feet per minute going over it, which is like 6,000 million gallons a day during wet weather. It goes a lot less in dry weather where they need the flow, and the wastewater treatment plants are like the whole flow. And some of the algae blooms come from nitrogen, phosphorus, and the dissolved oxygen. And they seem to occur in the summer during dry weather. So we think more flow through the reservoir could actually help with those problems. CEG, Citizens Energy Group, manages that dam and manages the reservoir, and they're the ones who want the water back. And they have a drinking water plant on Eagle Creek. So they are very concerned about if we were putting dirty water in Eagle Creek, they would be the first ones to complain about it. It's very clear treated water goes into Eagle Creek.
So just to clarify again what you said there are three current wastewater treatment plants that discharge Eagle Creek today.
Yes. Yes. It is true, and I'm not going to argue with people, but. And I should say that the agreements on your plate today are just about the drinking water supply. Nothing about Eagle Creek has anything really to do with these agreements. We're just being nice to the public. So.
All right.
Thanks.
Any questions for Ed? Sandra?
I got one.
Oh,
Ed, Lily's on Meta, okay. Before they're sending wastewater to the wastewater treatment plant to be treated, they have to treat it themselves a certain amount or test it to make sure it meets the quality that you're looking for to be sent to your system. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly right. We have a pretreatment program. We administrate it ourselves. So we inspect their discharge. They have different treatment they do on site. We inspect them and they have to provide us samples of what's in their water every day. And we can shut them down if they don't meet our requirements.
Andrew, you had a question?
Yeah. So I'm hearing a lot of different things here, but as far as the people and the kids and the rowing, by us putting more water back in, wastewater back in, is that going to make it worse for them or is it going to be any different? I need to hear this.
I think it's going to make it better for them. And I should tell you, it's going to make... I want to hear this. I want to hear this. I think it's going to make it better for them. And I row on that water. I'm a rower. In my younger days, I was in some races there, but now I'm just old and I'm trying to lose weight. But I go out there and I row on it. I swim in that beach and I hike it and I hike those trails.
And will you still go there after, if it's decided for us to go there, will you still go back there?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question with people yelling.
If it is decided that that's where we do send the wastewater, will you still go back there?
I will.
Okay.
Yes.
And what about the animals? I need to hear this too, about the birds and the sanctuary, all that.
Yes, we're doing
Are we gonna make it to
anti-degradation
where
study. If we found any problem with it, we would go, we would treat to a higher standard. But right now we're treating to the highest standard we can. The discharge point they initially picked is they were wanting to design the plant based off of the worst case scenario for treatment. So trying to get the lowest
If
limits.
something is decided and it's determined that we are hurting them, are we going to take care of that quick?
Yes, we are. In fact, we would. We're going to take care of it before any discharge actually happens because that study is going.
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Let me start over. The construction on the discharge line is not going to start until like 2028. So the anti-degradation study and all the permitting, all that stuff's going to happen first, and that's going to ensure that we don't cause a problem. And if there was a problem with our pretreatment program, let's say one of our industries discharged something that shouldn't have to the sewer, we can intercept that in our collection system. It's going to take, we can isolate it in the treatment plant, and there's a day of travel time on that line before it would get to the Eagle Creek area. So we have all sorts of opportunities and checks and balances in place.
And this isn't
samples.
happening tomorrow, so we do have time for all these studies and things like that.
Yes, we do.
We're not voting today. It's first reading. We're not voting today. No, it's a first reading.
I let everyone speak, right? And so we have business to conduct. So please respect that. Thank you. Any further
I
comments?
appreciate your answers. Thank you.
Any further questions for comments from the council?
No, sir.
Okay. Rob, do you want to, are you going to read the ordinance for us, please? Or you already read it? You read it once? Okay. So in the ordinance, it does say that the agreement has to be isn't fully approved until the ordinance is adopted. Or so I have a question for council. Do you guys want to vote on the just ordinance on second reading next time, or do you want to just do the vote to approve the resolution, or not the resolution, the agreement now, but then also vote on it, the resolution later then?
The second reading. Let's do the second reading.
Vote on second reading then? Okay. All right. So ordinance 2026-05 has been read on first reading. We'll take that up at our next city council meeting, which will be March 9th at 7:15 p.m. All right, next item here.
We want to take the MOU at the deal.
Yeah,
These are two separate.
Well, I said the MOU.
Yeah, so I think you said the ordinance. So
Oh, I'm sorry. Should I have said the MOU?
Yeah.
But do we want the MOU approved as well? Jeff, it's your preference to, you like to vote on the MOU as well, correct? You like us to vote on the MOU as well tonight?
They're both fine on the next meeting is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll have two separate votes. So we'll have two separate votes at our next meeting, essentially what that will be. Okay. Next item up here will be ordinance 2026-06. This is an amendment to Chapter 6 of our traffic codes, County Road 250 North and State Road 350 West, three-way stop. Kevin.
Thank you for your time. I'll be brief. I think this is a relatively easy item here. We can turn the Elmo on.
Wait a minute till we get a little
Might pause for a second here, let some of the room clear out.
Please. Let's stand in recess to follow the gavel.
Couldn't see the babies.
All right, we'll re-adjourn here. Kevin, ordinance 2026-06.
Thank you very much. Ordinance 2026-06 is something you're probably familiar with now. We've done a couple of these in recent months. This is to add an additional, add stop signs, stop controls at a new intersection. So the intersection in question, let's see. It is the intersection right here. That would be 350 West and 250 North. Currently, 350 West and 250 North is, so the image on top of your screen there is looking south at that intersection. So looking south along 350 West, 250 North is to your left. So currently, south to left from 350 to 250 is asphalt. If you were to extend straight through onto 350, it turns into a gravel road. These are one of the roads that were approved in your infrastructure agreement associated with the Domino project that are going to be resurfaced. These roads will also serve as construction routes for hauling. So currently, as it sits right now, the southern image is then looking, or the bottom image is then looking west on 250 West towards 350. So currently, there's only one stop sign at that intersection. It is to stop northbound gravel traffic, and the asphalt traffic on this curve is allowed to go free flow through there. Given and primarily the predominant traffic movement now is south to east, east to north. That's going to change with the hauling that's going to be taking place. So we're recommending that we add this to our traffic control schedule to turn this into a three-way stop. All expenses associated with that will be done by the Domino team associated with the construction and the hauling on the road. But for safety purposes, we need all traffic to stop in all directions.
Will that be reconfigured? I know this road very well. I drive it to go to my parents' house. So is there a way to, because that gravel road kind of comes in at a strange angle there. So are we making it more of a full perpendicular stop as kind of a,
We
I'd say
weren't
reconstruction,
planning to, but we
can
I
work
think we
with the
can
asphalt?
accommodate some improvements to the geometry there, in addition to the stop signs. Temporarily, we were talking about stop signs, rumble strips, warning lights, things of that nature that would be installed. This is just to get the hauling process started. As we get into the reconstruction in the summer months, we can look at tweaking that intersection.
So would you imagine that the stop sign is active before the roads are paved, or we think kind of as they're improved, then it becomes a three-way stop?
I would anticipate us going ahead and putting up stop signs, get people used to this condition before the traffic really increases in the north-south direction.
I think, and honestly, I think some lane marking might be valuable too, just to because it's, you're kind of like going around the, turn forward, then 500 there a little bit. It's kind of a banked corner there. So
It is.
I think having some clearly delineated painting as part of that, even that it is an interim condition, would help us with that, because it's going to be a big change for that road. That's
agreed.
Yeah. So
Something I'd encourage, Kevin, is, and you probably already thought about it, is your stop ahead signs.
Yes.
Okay, and I'd put them on both sides of the road.
We will.
for that
All
intersection.
three directions will see stop aheads.
Yeah. So
All
that way
three
people
directions
can-
will see new
'cause
stop signs.
People out there are not going to be used to a stop sign there.
the flashing's not a bad.
We've been talking
idea
about
either.
rumble strips on 250 and 350 as you go south to make sure people get used to this condition. And we'll do that ahead of time before the reconstruction.
Rob, have you read the ordinance, please?
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Ordinance 2026-06 is an ordinance concerning an amendment to Chapter 76, the traffic schedules. This council has jurisdiction over the public thoroughfares and streets within the corporate boundaries of the city and believes it's in the best interests of the public's health, safety, and welfare to amend Chapter 76 traffic schedules. Therefore, as of the effective date of this ordinance, Chapter 76, Schedule 5, stop intersections of the city code shall be amended to include County Road 250 North and County Road 350 West, all ways stop. And this ordinance shall be in full force and effects in accordance with Indiana law.
Thank you, Rob. Any council discussion,
Our
comments?
paperwork says chapter 6.
What should have said? I'm sorry. Chapter 76. I apologize. Yeah, that's a typo on the agenda. Apologize. As well as it should be County Road 350, not State Road 350. Sorry. Okay. Any other questions, comments from council on that ordinance? Any public comment on ordinance 2026-06? Officer Dixon.
Just a real quick one. If we're already doing some signage there, there's also a bus stop just east of that location. And the bus does a U-turn in that intersection to come back. So if we could do some sort of like signage, just say, hey, bus turn around right here. I'd appreciate it.
Yep, perfect. Thank you. Any other public comment?
Is that a Western Boone bus?
No, yes.
Okay.
All right, that concludes what I have for new business. Anything from council?
I have something.
Go ahead, John.
I just want to talk about today. It's a Sommer's Day in remembrance of Beech Grove Police Officer Brian Elliott, who was laid to rest today. I ask that everybody keep his family, the community, and his department in your thoughts and prayers. This is also a time and opportunity to keep our public safety officers and their families in your thoughts and prayers. It's a very dangerous world we live in today. No matter the size of your community or events like this, it can happen anywhere. It can strike anywhere at any time. Here today, we swore in 2 more firefighters, which is another remembrance of our young people stepping up to protect our city. Whenever there's a call for need or help, always remember these men and women from public safety. Without hesitation, they respond. No matter what the situation, no matter what, they respond. And I would ask that you keep all these people in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you.
Well said. Thank you, John. Any other new business? Any announcements or discussion?
I would like to remind everybody that the Lebanon Kiwanis Club 72nd annual pancake supper will be April the 9th. And last year we gave, we spent $30,000 for new playground equipment at Abner Longley Park. So all the money that we generate is spent right here in Lebanon for the kids. April 9th.
Find you for tickets, Mike, I assume?
And I have tickets.
There we go, like usual. Okay.
The next 7 weeks, I'll be hawking tickets. It's only $8.
Three more meetings, so we'll be all right. All right. Any other new business from council or announcements or discussion? Okay, we want to claims, entertain a motion concerning the claims.
I make a motion, we pay the claims.
Motion to pay the
Second.
claims, second from Sandra. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, our next city council meeting will be Monday, March 9th at 7:15 PM. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn from Dick, second from Keith. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.